Welcome once again to the Glittery Bunker. I'm Victoria Sautee. It's time to learn stuff.
If you're stuck inside and you need some fun, she's the grande dame of getting it done.
Let's learn stuff!
With Victoria Sautee.
Well, hello there, dearies. I've missed you all. I've been here held out in the Glittery Bunker for several days, and I'm so excited to be back with you here online once again with you, coming to you live from the old Facebook. Today we're going to talk about amusement parks. Something fun, something to cheer our spirits. I love a good amusement park, I do. Now, an amusement park is a park with various attractions. There are lots of attractions. There are games and rides and whatnot. But you know what an amusement park is. Now, do you know what the difference is of an amusement park of a theme park? Now, a theme park is a type of amusement park built around a theme. Now, that's not to be confused with a carnival. Now, an amusement park, a theme park, if you will, stays in one place, as it should. A carnival goes around. You don't know where a carnival's been. I don't know that I want to go to a carnival, dearie, not me. But I'll go to an amusement park, I will. Now, amusement parks evolved from Europe in what they would call the pleasure gardens. Look at this, a pleasure garden. I don't know if I like the sound of that. It sounds like a garden where you go for pleasure. I suppose that's all right. It's true. But that's how they evolved. Lovely places like this have sprung up all over Europe. They were the early amusement parks. They were. Now, the oldest amusement park that we have is right close by here in Connecticut, darling. There it is. It was built in 1846. It's called Lake Compounds. It's the oldest continually operating amusement park that we have. And of course, it's very famous, not only for that fact, but also for being the one place that Milli Vanilli made a little mistakey wakey. That's right. Now, some of the other early amusement parks in this country emerged in the early 20th century. The first one being Santa Claus Land. Santa Claus Land, look how merry it is. That was in Indiana. It opened in 1946. It did. Here's a look. You could go there at any time of year and have a visit with the jolly old elf himself. Now Santa Claus Land is not to be confused with Santa's Workshop, which opened in 1949 in New York State. That's right, it did. And of course, on the heels of those early parks were the wonderful Disneyland in Anaheim, California. Look at that. I want to go there. I wish I could. I can't. I'm here in the bunker, darling. I am. Now, the very early beginnings of the amusement park go long before the pleasure gardens to what was called the Bartholomew Festival in London. Now, look at it. Look at how many people were at that Bartholomew Fair. It was sort of like a state fair, it was. That's right. They'd have like little bits of farming and little attractions you could go see. You could see fun and games. You could watch people box. That's all. Circus acts. You could do all of that at the Bartholomew. Now, in the early 1800s, what finally came around was mechanical rides, and everyone likes a good mechanical ride. I know I do sometimes. Like the very first steam carousel. There it is, the steam carousel. And shortly thereafter, in 1893, the Ferris wheel was invented. It was created for the World Exhibition in Chicago. Another high-step and mechanical ride just for you, darling. That's right. Now, with the invention of the trolley came a host of parks that would connect the city or the town to a wonderful little weekend getaway. And of course, one of those would be the aforementioned Lake Compounds Park. You could go there from Hartford. You take a little trolley in and you could enjoy your day in maybe that little red boat there. And then after you're done sunning yourself and swimming your little legs off, you could jump on one of those rides. It was a wonderful idea. It became very popular everywhere. Places like Coney Island. Look at how Coney that island is. And here's another little shot, the cyclone in Coney Island. Well, in the 1900s, this brought to what they called the golden age of the American amusement park, and they were everywhere they were. Anywhere you could take a trolley, you could get your little amusement on. You could places like nearby, Pleasure Beach in Bridgeport, or here's a old Seven Rock in West Haven, not far from the Glittery Bunker, darling. Or you could visit Canopy Lake Park in New Hampshire, where you could enjoy the lake and then the park thereafter. And again, here in Connecticut, we have a lot of amusement parks. We do in Lake Quasi Park. That's right. Now, a lot of the parks had to close over the years after World War II. They weren't as popular, but luckily some lovely mom and pop little amusement parks opened all over the country. Let's look at some of them, shall we, darling? Places like Jolly Charlie in Attleboro, Massachusetts. Is anything that sounds worse than Attleboro is Jolly Charlie. Or you could visit in nearby Rhode Island. You could go to Rocky Point, where you could splish and splash in the water and have a fish dinner there and then enjoy the park. Or you could go up to Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Their amusement park had a very wonderful ride. There it is. There, do you see it, darling? That's a Noah's Ark. It opened in 1929 and it received national attention. So what you do? Well, this was built on the base of a pier. And what you could do is you'd go in little tunnels and caves. It was quite frightening, darling, I think. They'd have flashing lights and crazy sounds and little bits of air that would flash up at you. And then the ark itself, you see it there? Can you see it would rock back and forth. It was all hand carved. And unfortunately, it had perished in a fire in 1969. But lucky for you, you can visit Kennywood Park in Pennsylvania, and you can see a replica, the exact same ride, just like in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. There it is, saved forever. Now, of course, there's some other parks. I want to show you some of the most unusual ones that I could find. Here's the Enchanted Forest in Oregon. I don't know if I want to go inside that witch's mouth. I don't think I do, love. Or here's King's Castle in Massachusetts. It's King's Castle land looks rather plain, doesn't it? It looks like it's built with building blocks, I think. Well, also nearby in Massachusetts, there's the Edaville Railroad, which is a little train that would go around with some other rides. And now they've rethemed the Edaville. It's still there, darling. It is. It's themed with Thomas the Train. Or you could also go to Tweetsie Railroad Park in North Carolina. It's very much like the Edaville. Or here's Paragon Park. Paragon suggests something nice, but look at that. I don't know if that little park in Nantasket Beach in Rhode Island is very nice at all. I don't think it's Paragon. I think they should call it Average Park. Yes, that's right. Let's go to Average Park. Also nearby, we have Rye Playland in Rye, New York, a lovely place right there with the beach meeting the amusement park. And there's also host of the Dragon Coaster. Do you see it there? The Dragon Coaster. And of course, maybe you know, maybe you don't. The movie Big, with little baby Tom Hanks. There he is on the little machine getting his car. Was filmed right there at Rye Playland. Did you know that, loves? Well, look, you've learned something. Here's some other interesting parks to talk about. Here's Paul Bunyan Land in Minnesota. What a theme. Or if you don't like animals, maybe you like trucks, you could go on to Diggerland. That's in New Jersey, darling. Diggerland is, and all of the rides look like trucks. I don't know. Down in Florida, you could go to Wiki Wati, where you can see mermaids dancing around in the water after you finish your rides. Or you could go his Storybook Land. This is Storybook Land, not to be and that's in New Jersey, not to be confused with Storyland in New Hampshire. Storybook, Storyland. There's no books at this part, darling. Of course, you can, if you like The Wizard of Oz, and who doesn't? I love a good Dorothy story. You could visit the park in North Carolina. It's called the Land of Oz. Now, it opened in 1970 with a ribbon cutting by Debbie Reynolds. I don't know why they got her. They couldn't get, Unfortunately, couldn't get Judy Garland, but they got Debbie Reynolds to cut the ribbon, and all of the rides and attractions are themed like the Wizard of Oz. Now, it's closed to the public most of the time, darling, but on certain occasions, special weekends, they open it up, and you can watch a little actor dressed like Dorothy ride up and down on a ride. You could go with her too, I suppose. Let's not forget the Dutch Village in Michigan. That doesn't look like an amusement park to me. It doesn't. Oh, all this talk about amusement parks got me hungry. I want to talk about some of the treats you might find when you go to the amusement parks, like cotton candy. How much do you know about cotton candy, darling? I'm going to learn you something. I am. Now, cotton candy globally is known as, what is it? It's called candy floss. That's right. Unless you're in my country of Australia, you call it fairy floss, which is not to be confused with dental floss. Although why I mention that, you'll see in a moment. You will. Now, several places claim to have invented cotton candy in Europe in the 19th century, we believe, but it could have been Italy in the 18th century. Well, we do know that the machine that makes the candy floss, cotton candy, was invented by a dentist. That's right. William Morrison first introduced this to us in 1897. He was from Nashville, and he invented this machine that would make cotton candy, and they introduced it at the World's Fair in 1904. That's the first time anyone ate that. Now, you know, cotton candy comes in two different flavors. There's a blue one and a pink one. But did you know what their name is? The blue version is called Boo Blue. Boo Blue. Very original, darling, it is. And the pink version is called Silly Nilly. I'll have two Silly Nillies and one Boo Blue. And one thing about cotton candies, everyone looks so good when they eat it. They do. Let's look. I don't know. I don't think they look good at all, do they? This one woman here, she looks like she's hiding behind her cotton candy. She doesn't want you to see her eating it. The lovely Marilyn Monroe was known to eat cotton candy or candy floss. Look at it there. The interesting thing, if you look in the background of that picture, there's a gentleman there, and I don't know if he's thinking to himself, I wish I were Marilyn Monroe, or I wish I were that candy floss. I'm not sure. Now, the biggest producer of cotton candy is the Charms Company. They make Tootsie Rolls for us. They do love fluffy stuff. And that's the biggest producer of cotton candy in the world. Now, I just want to, before we go on another topic, I want you to know the process of making cotton candy, because it's very interesting to me. I hope you're all listening, and I hope you take this down, darling. Listen to this. I'm reading the instructions. Cotton candy machines include a spinning head enclosing a small sugar reservoir into which a charge of granulated sugar is poured. The rim is heated. Sugar squeezes through holes by centrifugal force. Hot sugar solidifies and builds up on the inside walls of a large bowl. Then it's twirled on a cone or a stick. The process is messy and sticky. Well, that's quite a bit. I don't think I can take any more of that. Luckily, the candy apple. Now, the candy apple's a lot more simpler. A dessert, darling. It was invented by William Kolb in the year 1908. He was an American candy maker, and he had a little sweet shop. He did, and one day it was around about the holidays. He decided he would melt down some little red cinnamon candies and overheat. And he thought, what if I dip an apple in there? What will happen? And he did. And he ended up making a whole tray of these. And he put the tray in his shop window to attract customers. He thought it'd be merry for the Christmas holidays. Well, people started buying them 5 cents a piece. Little did he know he had invented one of the most tried and true little dessert treats you could get at a carnival around the world. That's what a lovely gentleman. Thank you, William, for the candy apples. Now, I'm thinking of candy apples and cotton candy and fairs, and that reminds me of balloons. It does. And I have a very special guest that I want to introduce you to from Beach Party Balloons in Milford. Let's all say hello to my friend Melissa. Melissa, are you there?
Hi.
Hello, Melissa. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Well, thank you for joining me. Now, we're talking all about balloons right now, and you have a little balloon business. Could you tell us about it?
Sure. Located in Milford, Connecticut, and we do parties, events, balloon arches, centerpieces, columns. But you can also, just send your friend a gift or come in and get a few balloons.
So you could get like a dozen balloons, or you could get like something sculptured out of balloons.
Absolutely, big and small. We do it all.
Melissa, tell us some of the unusual balloon sculptures you've been asked to do, or some of the unusual things you've had to do in your days as a balloon artist.
Sure. The first one that comes to mind is there were a couple of twins having a baby shower for some twins, and we made some giant animals, like safari animals, like an elephant. Made a giraffe, and a bunch of different things, but they were supposed to be close to life size, so they did take us quite a while to make. So that was a lot of fun and a lot of work.
Well, I'm sure it was. Now, tell us, how did you get started in the balloon business?
Well, that's a long story, but I'll make it as short as possible. So I went to art school, so I have an art degree, but I started doing face painting and, entertainment. And then eventually I made balloon animals, the little sculptures. We give them out to kids at events. And, and people started asking me if I could make, bigger things like, the balloon arches and everything. And I said, well, enough people have asked me, I should start learning how to do this. So I started going to conventions and classes and learning how to do that. And eventually I started making money and realizing that it didn't fit in my house. So I opened a store.
And how long has your store been in operation?
4 years. Yeah.
Wonderful. It's just wonderful. Now, I want to go back to how you learned how to do the balloons. Now, there's a school to do this, or classes where one could take?
Not really a school, but there are conventions that you can go to, just like anything else. We have balloon conventions where the best balloon professionals go and learn how to be better by,
That's
learning
wonderful.
from the best in the business. So.
Now, and do you still offer face painting?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Our business is called Painted You. We do a lot of birthday parties, of course, but also corporate events, entertaining all ages, family-friendly things. Additional to that, we do a lot of different kinds of open to the public events in schools and things like that. So lots of face painting. Maybe not so much right now, but usually we do lots.
Oh, wonderful. Now, your store was, I remember driving past it in the Devon area of Milford, but I hear that you've moved. Is that correct?
Yes, this is actually our third move. I started down at Walnut Beach, which is how we became Beach Party Balloons. And, we kept the name, of course, because we had already established. And then we ended up in Devon. And we just opened a couple of months ago at 572 Boston Post Road. So we're right on the main drag there.
It's wonderful. And I think I know you might have a little special event coming up. Could you tell us about it?
I would love to. So it's going to be open to the public, and, due to current restrictions about the number of people that can gather, we're actually just doing a drive-through event. So anyone can come through. We're going to have balloon arches. I'm going to have a stilt walker. We're going to have some refreshments delivered right to your car, some little giveaway items, special offers. So it really should be a lot of fun and just kind of a unique experience during this kind of weird time.
And when is that again?
That is this Saturday on the 6th, and we're doing the ribbon cutting at 11:30, and 12 to 4, we're doing the actual event festivities. So hope anyone who wants to come can join, and bring kids, bring everybody.
Well, that's wonderful, and that's on the Post Road. What number Post Road, if anyone wants to join you?
572.
572 Post Road. You hear that? Now, and we can follow you on your Facebook page, I imagine, and
Yeah,
and you have
Instagram as well, of course.
That's wonderful. Well, Melissa, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been lovely to hear about balloons, and we'll pop by on the weekend. We will and drive through your lovely balloonery.
Oh, I can't wait. Thanks so much, Victoria.
Thank you for coming on. Lovely to have you. Have a nice day. Oh, wasn't so lovely? I want to go to that. I do. I want to learn more about balloons. I want to drive by. I want to see what it's like. Well, we'll be back in just a moment.
It's Pantochino Summer 2020, featuring Pantochino podcasts, mini musicals broadcast everywhere, Pantochino Curbside, bringing musical theater to your front door, Victoria Sautee's Let's Learn Stuff, all this and more in Pantochino Summer 2020. Find out all the details at pantochino.com.
And we're back, darling. I feel like I've been ignoring you out there. Well, I didn't mean to. I just had so much to tell you this afternoon. I'm looking at some of your comments, and Michael's there. We missed you. We love the outfit. Oh well, Michael, I'll be sure to tell my designer, Mr. Jimmy, and Emma says I can't imagine they'd place more amusement at the glittery bunker. Oh, Emma, you don't know the half of it that takes place in here. And who else is there? Well, Emma is there, and oh, hello there, Aaron, and Nancy is there. Ah, Nancy loves the lake. Don't you love the lake? And Suzanne and Ted are watching. Hello, Florida. And they say Disney World is opening here soon. Well, that's lovely. That's lovely. I can't wait to go again. I do. Here, I feel I like. Carlisle's, yes. I'm trying to talk as fast as I can. I went on the cyclone at Coney Island when I was little. Terrifying. I don't know that you could get me on a wooden coaster. I don't think I would. Who else is there? Justin says the witch's mouth is my favorite. I've heard that expression before, Justin. I won't tell you where. Hello, Diane is here. You missed us yesterday. I know you were searching for us. Unfortunately, we were detained today. We were, and Suzanne says Universal. Well, of course. Oh, Universal, the park. Yes, we didn't cover that one today. Mary loves Storyland. Isn't that lovely? Oh, Mary. And Emma says Debbie and us. Yes, didn't that park look a little spooky? I think it was a little spooky. I do. And who else is here? Yum of the cotton candy. Yes, a candy floss. And Barbara wants to go to the Oz Park. Oh, Barbara, if you do, take some pictures, because I think those pictures try to make it look good. I don't know if it looks that good. Who is that? Diane. She says, I am a Tupperware consultant. Oh, well. That's lovely, Diane. You have a little advertisement, another little ad here on the show. Fairy floss, yes, fairy floss. It's not just for fairies, Emma. Now I want cotton candy. I do too, and I want a candy apple to wash it down with. Oh, Roseanne's here. Roseanne is one of my dearest friends. I want to have you all know that Roseanne used to help me put my Victoria Sautee on. If it wasn't for Roseanne, I would not be as Sautee as I am today. She was a lovely. She is a lovely person, but she worked closely with me in the early days of Victoria Sautee's show. I'm hungry because of all this food. I know. Why is it that I do so many shows about food? I don't know why, but I do. Aaron's hi, Aaron again. And balloon sculpture sounds so cool. Well, let me tell you something, Emma. I've seen Melissa's work from Beach Party Balloons. They're just wonderful. They are. That's why balloons are so amazing. She is an artist. She's not just a balloonist. She's an artist. She is. What else? Can you show us something? Well, I'm afraid she's gone. I'm so sorry. And Paige is here. Funnel cakes. We should have done funnel cakes. Hello there, Hannah. Thanks for stopping in. Andrea remembers Noah's Ark at Old Orchard Beach. She does. I think she went on it, didn't she? Thank you. Well, what would we do without Miss Sautee? Well, I don't know what you would do without me. I really don't. And because of that, I have a surprise for you. I'm coming back. I'm going to join you once again tomorrow, and I have a big show planned tomorrow. I do. Now, some of your favorite foods might be featured tomorrow. Some of your favorite little people, like Dick and Jane, they might be joining me tomorrow. There'll be prizes. There'll be games. It's going to be Thursday tomorrow, and I want Thursday to be a merry day. I do. In the meantime, loves, I must be signing off. I do. But I want you to do me a favor, more than ever. Be good. Wear your masks. Wash your hands every time you come in and out, darling. And be kind to each other. For goodness sake, let's be kind to each other. I'll see you tomorrow, loves.
If you're stuck inside and you need some fun, she's the grande dame of getting it done.
Let's learn some!
With Victoria Sautee.
Yay!
One thing that never changes in the month of June is they never make it easier to turn this thing off.